Y'all all right?
All right. Yes,
All
sir.
right. The therapist is on. I think she's muted. She should be coming on shortly. Thank you. So welcome to my YouTube channel. It's just Antonio. Hi, Griselda. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Let me introduce you to the Connors. That is Dominic and Geneva Connors.
Hello. Nice to meet
You
you.
guys to my my second episode of It's Funny Now, Black Marriage Chronicles. Me and licensed therapist and marriage counselor Griselda had a really in-depth conversation a couple of days ago, which I posted to my YouTube channel about the evolution of marriage. Geneva, I appreciate you, sharing it with your people and liking it and making your comments. I definitely appreciate that. So we're looking to definitely grow the channel and the brand. But yeah, this is my first official actually it's like a retake with you guys, right? Because I think we tried to do something before. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the therapist on and just some other stuff. But you know what? I'm gonna use it as an outtake, so we'll put that on and probably add it in because there was some funny moments that was captured there. So we definitely want to put that in. But I want to thank you guys because you know what's so funny is I've been asking a lot of couples, and me and Geneva, we talked about this a while ago when it was kind of just a thought process with me maybe a year ago. And you was like, yeah, you was on board. But I've been talking to other married couples because I know a lot of married couples. And it's like, yeah. But when I've been talked to them, it's like, hey, I want to schedule you. They was like, I guess now that it's real, like, well, I don't either it's the wife or the husband don't want to do it. Like, no, I don't know. So I don't know if it's a matter of, I don't know airing laundry out possibly for the world to see. I don't know, but anyway, some people. But I am booked up though. That's the good thing.
Well, that's good. That's a blessing.
I am booked up. I have people scheduled pretty much every Saturday, which is great. So I appreciate that, and
that's
I'm looking
great.
Couples in, so that is absolutely great. So I appreciate that. So yeah, let's get right into it. Thank you guys again for coming on and being able to share your testimony on where my goal is to be able to revive, reconnect, and allow couples to experience what you guys may have gone through, and hopefully to help them to know that it's possible to make it. You can make it through despite whatever obstacles you may be going through at the time. Hopefully, my goal in having the therapist on is to also kind of help maybe during those times where you guys had some difficult times. She can kind of put that into context for those who may be looking at this and saying, hey, we're going through something similar, and put that into context and maybe get them with some additional help to make it through. So if you guys wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit about yourselves, about your marriage, your family. Just share.
Yeah, I'm gonna start off this time since he started off last time and gave us his own history of from kindergarten up to college.
Okay. I'll kick it off, Al. So 30 years of marriage. We met at a party store in Oak Park. Believe it or not.
And just a little background for the folks at home. I went to school with the young lady that's on camera, Geneva. So we do, and plus she's one of my clients as well. So we do have a little bit of history. So I do know her. Go ahead and take it away, Dominic. Because we went to high school.
Yes, sir.
Right. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I grew up on the east side of Detroit.
Okay.
Went to Catholic schools. Servite High School, which has been closed for years now, but I went to Catholic schools, played basketball, played football.
You play football?
Yeah, played football my senior year. Here we go. So went on to graduate, went to Olivet College, played basketball at Olivet College.
Okay. What position?
Played forward.
Okay.
And went into business administration as a major. Then I had a minor in insurance. And so I've been in the insurance industry for 35 years.
Okay.
Working with several companies, different companies. We actually relocated a couple times.
Is this a job interview?
No, it's not a job. I'm just saying.
Right. Okay.
So So Dominic and I have been married for 30 years. When Dominic and I met, we made it over that hump. We old now, so so when I met Dominic, he had 2 daughters, and he and I had 2 sons.
Okay,
so
you got a blended family.
So off the rip, the odds were already against us.
Okay,
so it was, rough or whatever, but at this point, we 30 years, our kids are grown at this point in time. And we can say today, it's funny, but it wasn't funny back then. Because there was some things that,
I wish I had a bell. Ding, ding, ding. So we can
right.
It wasn't funny back then, but it's funny now.
It's funny now to the point sometimes I will, punch him in the back of his head because I can laugh now. But most definitely, even with a blended family, just getting married, period, is difficult. But adding the blended family, because now you're talking about adding exes, to the equation of your marriage. So most definitely, it was funny back then. It wasn't funny back then, but we can laugh at it now.
Right.
And I don't want to take over the conversation, but I was listening to your interview with the psychologist, and it was just listening to some of the things that you guys were saying. And I commented. I don't know if you saw when you sent me the link this morning. I was up this morning like, because there's so much, because when you've experienced it, you really can say, and through the marriage, and I will say, I'm gonna shut up and let them talk. But what we don't talk about, because we had the conversation prior to this, is that we're going to be open. Because if we're not going to be open, then we shouldn't even be having this conversation.
Absolutely. We definitely need transparency with this, because that's the only, because the thing is that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but we want those who are going through something to know, like, hey, 30 years wasn't easy. We had some rough spots, but we made it through, so absolutely. Yeah. You go ahead.
Yeah. And the thing that, and this is not a secret, but the infidelity in our marriage.
Yeah.
Because I heard the psychologist saying about, some women say we don't need a man. Well, I'll tell you one thing, if you have infidelity in the marriage, it make you say, I don't need a man. You know what I'm saying? So most definitely that is the mindset. And this is not to discount why he felt that way, that he needs to go step outside the marriage, because that's between him, God, and me and my backhand back then. But, they have their own reasons why. But marriage is not easy at all. And I heard her say too that, the younger generation don't value it. But that's because they've seen so much in their parents' generation. And I think the reason why I got married is because I saw my mother get married. But if I would have been realistic, I really shouldn't have gotten married. If I would have been realistic about it. And I don't want marriage I want marriage for my daughters, but I don't want it for my daughters. I don't want them to do it because they saw me get married or me be in a marriage for 30 years. I want them to do it because they found a partner that completes them, not because it's tradition.
Got you. I can understand. So, Griselda, if you wouldn't mind, just kind of unpack what Geneva said about some of the things that she mentioned about the infidelity in the marriage and overcoming those things, and go ahead.
Well, for sure. First of all, congratulations for making it through 30 years. And marriage is a lot of work. What people don't realize, every day you get up, you have to choose to love this person that you're with, in spite of all the flaws, in spite of all the things they carry and bring with them. You're making a decision to love this person, honor this person, cherish this person, and work hard in a marriage to be with this person. And so that's absolutely correct. You have to do the work if you want to stay together. And I often give the example, like if you have a plant in your home that you never water, it's going to die. And that's the same thing with the marriage.
Absolutely. Good analogy.
You have to pour into your marriage. You have to water your marriage, and if you want to see it grow. And as we go along in life, depending on how young you are when you get married, and as you get older, you're going to have those different peaks individually in your life. Like you're going to evolve, hopefully, as an individual, which could put either strain in your marriage because it's not happening at the same time, or it can bless your marriage because maybe some things that was not so great in the beginning are, now that you're getting older and evolving, are really blessing the marriage on the back end. So that is absolutely correct. And the one thing that you said at the end that I definitely want to address is the finding someone to complete you. What I challenge people with making those type of statements is this: if you find a person who completes you, if they leave you, they've taken that with them. So now you're incomplete again. So you don't want a person to complete you. You want a person that brings something to enhance what you already worked on or what you're working on.
Yes.
Compliment, yes. Not complete. Because, and a lot of us say that we don't even think about when we say that I want someone that completes me. But that to me is how I look at when you put that much power at the feet of somebody else. What if it doesn't work out? Now they're gone and I'm incomplete because they took that part of me that they completed with them.
Right.
So I just wanted to address that point.
Right. And I want to chime in with something you said, because remember, we used to always say, oh, marriage is 50-50. Like, no, I don't want half a person. I want a whole person. But that used to be the thing we used to say until we realized I don't want 50% of a person. I want 101% from you. And Will Smith said something one time. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Will Smith. I heard him. My wife watches Jada's Red Table thing. Yeah. And so he said on there, I don't want to be responsible for your happiness. I shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? You should be happy already, and then let me compliment what's already there. That's a lot of responsibility to put on someone to say, you make me happy. I think that comes, we say that so cavalier, but I think that comes in moment. Yeah, there's certain things that I do or say that makes my wife smile or make her happy, but I shouldn't be the sole reason why she's happy, you know. But yeah, good point, Griselda. I want to call you doctor.
I'm used to that. People call me that all the time.
Okay, all right.
And the other thing,
on here we're going to call you doctor.
Okay,
because I'm sure you're going to get your doctorate. You got enough degrees to have a doctorate. But yeah, so tell me.
Can I make a point on that? What you just said. And you're right. We are 100% responsible for our own happiness. That's true. And the other thing with marriage, two things. One is there's no such thing as black and white in a marriage or dealing with people in relationship, period.
There's no, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. There's
no black and white. Like people, I'm black and I'm white. No, you can't be black and white in relationships because people come with so much baggage. There's all kinds of gray area in the middle. So you can't just be black and white with people. Right. The other thing is that when you talk about 50-50, there may be a time in my marriage that my husband needs to give 80 to me and take 20. Or I need to give 70 to him and take 30. So there's a myth of we can 50-50 split the bills if that's what you want to do, but not when you're talking about the relationship. So I definitely agree with that point.
Yeah. A guy one time, he's a practicing pastor. It's a guy I went to school with, and he told me marriage isn't about equality, it's about equity. You build equity into the marriage because it ain't gonna always be a situation where like you said, I'm giving 80% and then my wife taking 20 or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, you build equity in marriage because that's what's gonna help you sustain the marriage over the long run. Yeah.
Sure.
So you guys have been married 30 years. When is your anniversary?
August 28th.
I ain't gonna let you answer that because you'll get in trouble. When is your anniversary?
Oh, I know that. It's the day before my birthday, August 28th.
Oh, you will never forget that. Listen, it's so funny. Me and my wife got married on August 18, 2018. I said, yeah, you did that on purpose. That way I never forget that.
Right. So no, I can't forget that date.
Yeah. So tell me, just to kind of expound on what your wife mentioned about the infidelity, how did you guys cope with that? Like, what did you do in order to, because I know I didn't been in that situation myself too, brother. So I totally get it, where you like, listen, it happened and you trying to move forward and move past it. And it's almost like because I told my wife, I was like, listen, if we gonna work this out, I need you gonna have to at some point let that go so we can move forward. But how did you work with your wife in order to, because you need to also give her some grace with that as well. How did you manage that?
First of all, I bought a new car.
You bought a new car.
He ain't lying, and he's not lying. And he is not lying. And he's not lying.
That was the first step. That was the first step in the right direction. But no, it was a battle. And we still, I mean, it's a still ongoing battle because she still brings it up.
Okay.
And I will to the day he died.
So I mean, that's
and at his casket, at the funeral, I'm gonna bend over at the casket, like, do you remember what you did?
No, we will have a private service. She won't be there. But anyway,
before you finish, I do want to say y'all are one of my absolute favorite couples. I love y'all. Just so y'all know that I do. I love y'all. Y'all one of my favorite couples. I really do.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate y'all being my first guest again. But go ahead, Dominic.
Yeah, but no, that's a very difficult pill to swallow for her and for me to deal with, and for her to forgiveness. I think forgiveness, you can forgive someone and not forget.
Absolutely.
And I think when we have disagreements, it comes up again. As a way to say, okay, you did this, and you did this to me, but I stood by you. You know. So I think women in general have a problem. They may be forgiving. They may say they forgive you, but I don't know if they really forgive you.
You getting the side from your wife.
Doctor, can you help us?
No, don't call him doctor now, bro. Don't call him doctor now, bro.
Is she still there?
I'm still here. Well, I think I heard someone say before, trust is lost in buckets, but it's gained back in driplets. And I think that's the part that we struggle with. And oftentimes a person who commits the act, they want to, if they are going to stay in the marriage, they want to just move on. But the person who was the victim or the recipient of the infraction, they're stuck there. They're stuck there with the betrayal. They're stuck there with the pain it caused. They're stuck questioning who they are as a woman. So a lot of things play a role in that when it happens. And, and you said for women, you think it's hard for them, but most men won't even stay past the infraction. Like if she cheats on him, he's gone, because there's no way most men can get over that. Like it's like an ego and pride thing. Whereas a woman, she may allow you to win her back and try to repair the marriage, especially depending on the time that you've been in your marriage. And so there is a myriad of reasons. Some people think infidelity, for some people it is a deal breaker, but it doesn't have to always be a deal breaker. The thing is to address what caused the person to feel like they need to step out. And I say, a lot of people say, well, she wasn't doing this and he wasn't doing that. No, it's still, even though we want to be the best we can be for our partners, at the end of the day, cheating is a decision. It's a decision. For sure, especially if you do it more than one time, it's not a mistake. But it's definitely a decision that we make. And that's a hard pill to swallow, because we look to blame someone to take the heavy off of us. But it is a decision that we make. And I get it. It's not a black and white decision all the time, because some people are going through so many things in their relationship. The best thing to do is try to get intervention earlier than trying to patch stuff on or fix stuff and all that on the back end. And so that's, basically infidelity does not have to be a end all and be all. Now, if you are a person who continuously cheat in your marriage, then, you all need to have a different conversation. A couple would need to have a different kind of conversation. But just because a person, for whatever reason, if you got married when you was 18 and you 19, I mean, like, you don't really know that who you are as a man or a woman. So in that period of time, you got people trying to figure all that out at 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25. Like, you still a kid. I don't know how you were when you got married and how long ago that happened, but I'm just giving that example too, because people, they have man and woman expectations from children, like at 18 and 19 and 20 and 21, like you haven't even started living life really at that point. So,
right. And we were older, and I was his second wife. So we were older, and I think I think what happened was, when the affair happened, I was a elder at Second Ebenezer, and he was one of the leads at the church as well. And I think when the affair happened, it was open, because if I'm one of the leading elders and all the ministers are reporting to me, and everybody in the church knew but me, and I was the last person to know. So it's one thing when it happens and maybe a couple people know, but when the whole 5,000 congregation knows, and I know I'm exaggerating, and I think that's a big pill. So now and I'm saying this not to, because everybody knows, everybody that's been in the church world, they know who we are. They know. So this is no secret what we're talking about. And as we said, we're being transparent. So this is not a secret. But I'm saying that to say, because there are I've seen women who, because they think that, oh, he's the one that put her on. So that means he got a couple of dollars. And so those other women, they latch on thinking that, I'm going to get a couple of dollars or whatever, or I can do better, for him than she could, not knowing the struggle. And I think that, and I said that to say, because imagine having that peel, and it goes both ways, whether it was him doing it or whether it was I doing it. Infidelity still hurts, but it hurts at a different magnitude when you have a different title. You know what I mean? And so I said to say, because I've seen many people in the church leave the church because of things like this, when no one is addressing it. So it's being covered up. And so you see a lot of marriages in the church that are ending because we're not being honest. We're not having these type of conversations. We're not being transparent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Would you say that you're, I know you guys kind of mentioned that, Dominic mentioned that it still comes up periodically, but would you say that your marriage is the character of your marriage is a little bit stronger because of what happened? I mean, have you guys been able to, rebuild, strengthen the marriage?
What did we say last time? It's cheap. Come on, let you say it. It's cheap.
Oh, cheaper to keep her. I don't want to go back to a 1-bedroom studio.
I'm taking everything, okay? Everything.
That's tongue in cheek, though. But I'm assuming you love your wife, though, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. We're gonna take a little bit of a break. We're not going off air, but because I have this game. It's called Culture Tags. And then I have another game. It's called Naughty or Nice. They're both by Black creators. So you guys you let me know which one of the games you want to play, and then we'll play a game, and then we'll go get back to it. So which one do you want to do? Culture Tags or Naughty Nice?
Naughty Nice, I guess.
Naughty Nice. Naughty Nice it is. All right. So we'll read maybe 1 or 3 cards, and then you guys answer, and we'll go from there. I was gonna say, if you read Culture Tags, then I would give y'all a lifeline. You could have called somebody. All right, here you go. Your 2 best friends both say they saw your partner cheating. Oh Lord, but weren't able to get evidence or proof. What would you do next? 1, A, ignore them. B, ask your partner about it. C, try to set your partner up to cheat. Or D, investigate on your own.
Probably investigate.
Investigate, Geneva?
Yeah. I'm asking them.
All right. Here's another one. Is there anything you've ever done to your partner in the past, whereas they sought revenge against you in some way, you would have understood why?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There was it's revenge. She bleached my clothes.
And you understood why? What about you, Geneva?
And I started crying.
No, he never take no revenge on me because I'm not playing that game. So no.
Okay. All right. Last question. How would you respond to seeing a text pop up on your partner's phone that says you alone? I hate these questions. If so, come outside. I didn't set this up.
Oh my God.
What would you do?
Oh, that's gonna be a problem. I probably need to call my lawyer.
A whole problem.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's a whole problem right there.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Thanks, you guys, for playing along. So let's get back to the conversation. And I think we talked about this before, but what attracted you to each other? Attracted you to her and you to him. So Geneva, I'm gonna have you go first.
he came in with this army green suit on.
Can we get a picture of that?
I gotta find a picture if there is such a picture. But he came in with the suit on.
Uh-huh.
I talk about to this day, and I was like, I told the guys that worked at the store, I was like, who is that guy? Because I had never seen him in the store before. This time where I worked at Lighthouse Liquor then, and I was like, who is this guy? And they was like, we don't know. We never seen him before. And I was like,
was it you were attracted as soon as you saw him, or was it the suit that kind of just got your attention?
The suit got my attention. So that was my red flag. I should have ran. But the suit got my attention. And so I gave him my number. I told one of the guys, I said, give him my number and have him call me. So that was, that was that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And what about you? What attracted you to each other?
Well, like I said, in the story we met, I went to the local store where we were.
Answer the question.
Yeah, what attracted. I would say her personality, her looks, her hair. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was the first thing that struck. Yeah, she was really cute. And I said, yeah, I think I want to move forward with this.
Stop lying. He lied so much. No, now let me tell the truth. So when he came in the store that I worked in, he had on this green suit. Remember we talked about that green suit?
Right.
He had on this green suit.
It was an East Side lime green.
It wasn't East Side lime green. It was a business green suit back then. You gotta remember this was 1990, right?
Okay.
So he came in and my boss, I said, who is that guy? They was like, we've seen him a couple times. I said, take my number and give him my number.
You was a little forward, okay.
Yeah, she was very aggressive, man. Very aggressive.
I am the aggressive in the marriage.
Yeah, she is the aggressor.
But yeah, it was his appearance. So I think both of us, it was superficial.
Yeah, superficial at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so here we are, fast forward 30 years later. Is that same attraction there?
He don't have that suit anymore, but he still is a good dresser. Okay. I will tell you this, and so it was the appearance. So he's still a good dresser. I don't know why he got on this little bummy shirt down, but
Saturday and it's clean.
But he is a good dresser. So there are some times because I don't go to service where he goes. So there are some times on Sundays when I see him go, I'm like, let me see that you got to serve today because I think you lying. You know, he's dressed up. So I do be checking though. I mean, the ladies at church do tell me.
We're online, so she'll know.
Yeah, I'll be watching.
Okay, we got online service.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, alrighty. We know that Geneva is the aggressor, but in those moments that you guys have, like those before you get into it, like. Who is the initiator? Like, do you for me, and my wife probably gonna kill me for saying this. Like, I know when when it's time to go down because she around me a little bit more. She's like a little cat. She wanna touch on me and looking at me paying me a little bit more attention than normal. Like,
right,
what I'm saying? So what is that moment for y'all?
I think that's it. You hit it on the nail on the yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hit the hammer.
She comes downstairs to talk to me more than often. She's nice. She's nice. She's really nice to me. She give me a hug. I say, "Oh, we're gonna have a good night."
You start getting scared, huh?
I start running.
Oh my God.
Shameful. Right.
Okay, your kids. Now tell us a little bit about you. You see, guys say you have a blended family. How old are the children, and how many grandkids do you have?
We have 7 kids together. We have 15 and a half grandkids. So Reggie is the oldest. That's my oldest son. Reggie is. So I'll be 54 this year, and Reggie had almost 15. So he almost 40. I want to say almost 40. Mm-hmm. And the youngest is 20.
It's hard to do the math when you get over 40, huh?
Listen. I was 22, 23, something like that. So yeah. Oh yeah, it's a lot of us. It's a lot of us.
And the grandkids, how many we have?
15 and a half.
Oh, 15 and a half grandkids?
Right. Yeah. Wow. That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Does that mean there's away?
Say it again.
Is the half meaning one is on the way?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
one is on the way.
one
Yeah,
is on the way.
one is on the way.
One is on the way. Yeah.
Tell me something. Do you remember all of their birthdays?
I don't.
I have a calendar.
Yeah.
So I have a calendar. I put everybody in my calendar, and then I use Facebook too, because that's why I always, when you see me on Facebook, I'm like, "Happy birthday to my grandchild." So I'm like, "Okay, shoot, we gotta give them money, or we gotta give them money." So I know. Yeah, I put in our budget.
They're basically cleaning us out right now. Basically, like we got a birthday to deal with every month. I can't deal with it. So,
yeah, okay.
But
that's too funny.
But yeah, speaking of blended families, and I think I mentioned this before, it's tough. It's tough when you're dealing with when they say baby mama drama and you know father drama. I mean, and we never really had any serious issues where it was blowout. You know, beginning ghetto type stuff. No, we have not. But no, there was issues. There was issues. And the kids went through a lot, you know, when you got blended families and you got your mother on this side and then dad has remarried someone else. You know, we still deal with some issues that the kids have now, today, you know.
Really? To this day?
They're all not as close as that we would always want them to be close, but they have gone on and have their lives. But, you know, it is. Blended family is a whole different issue. When you're dealing, you know, the being a stepmom or stepdad. I'm
not nobody's stepmom.
I know you. But what I'm saying is, yeah, she don't believe in that word, and she's really good about that.
I'm the same way, Geneva. I was like, don't call me step nothing. I'm the same way. Bonus dad. Don't
bonus
call me
dad, right? Bonus mom.
Yeah.
You know, bonus son, bonus daughter. But yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dominic. Finish your thought.
But I'm saying it is challenging.
Yeah,
it's real challenging.
Dr. Ramsey, tell us how do you counsel couples who have issues with the blended family? What's your advice?
That was good.
That's a myriad of like complexities there. We are.
Come on in, baby.
My husband and I, this is our second marriage also, and we brought a child to the marriage. We didn't have a child, you know, together, but we both brought a child to the marriage. And so for us, now my daughter did not live with us at the time, period. My son was only 6.5 when we got married. So the navigating of the single mom with this young male child to now here's dad in the house, and you know, that was a navigation for me, myself, and not so much for my son because he was so little, but for me, you know. And his father, his biological father, was elected to not be involved. He wasn't pushed out. He was elected to not be involved. So we never had any issues as it relates to that because my daughter's mother and my husband had been so far removed from a relationship. Like, you know, he had several girlfriends and a wife in between all of that. So there was no issues with that. And, but, you know, in blending a family, I think sometimes the adults make decisions not realizing the impact on children. And because, you know, they're kids and they do what we say and all of that. But to me, first of all, you need to you have to have an open conversation with the child, not so much as you're getting their permission, but to let them know that our life, such as we know it, you know it, is going to change. So I think if the earlier people start to have those conversations, especially if you have minor children, especially, then I think it'll be a better transition. Not necessarily it's going to be a perfect transition because it's still something you have to adjust to. And if you have the ex-spouse or the biological parent that, you know, sometimes you have people who are, you know, I'm okay with not being with you, but don't you dare move on kind of thing. Now I'm causing problems. So now I'm telling my kids all these negative things about their parents and then about the dad or the dad or the mother, you know, the new dad and new mom. I'm saying all these negative things. So, you know, and kids are put in a position where they feel like they have to split to form alliances. And that's the worst place you can put a child, because that's a lot to put at their feet, and it's not their responsibility to navigate the emotions of grown people. That's not their role.
That's right.
And so that's where you start seeing that dissension in children, where, like, you know, then I'm looking at, because her kids are in the house with you, Dad, you're getting more attention. They seem to be getting more attention because they're in. That may not be the case, but this is how I'm looking at it. And the first time Mom said, "You see, he over there with them, and they going on trips, and they didn't, all that kind of stuff." So there are lots of things. I really love to see when families come together collectively and with the exes, and they can co-parent well. Like that's when people have matured, and they've matured and they've healed, because the maturity comes with the healing, and that's how that has happened. Some people never get to that place. A lot of people never get to that place. So when you have those situations, it's good to kind of have communication as quickly as you notice that there's a problem. Letting, reassuring kids that you love them. This person is not, while my wife is my, your wife comes first in that regard, biblically, she's not taking your place. Or my husband comes first biblically, he's not taking your place. We are a family. So it's a matter of having those conversations. And then sometimes when kids get older and become adults and start to experience some things themselves, then they can see better, because now I'm experiencing some things myself. So I think there's no one answer to that question, because there's complexities involved in blending a family, depending on how it's blended and at the age of the children, whether there's co-parenting effectively, there's a bunch of legal stuff. So it's a whole myriad of things that can impact a new family blending healthily and moving on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right. Agreed. That's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I, my wife and my daughter's mom, it was so funny because she came in town and she came over to the house. She wanted to come, but the thought never crossed my mind that they would not get along. And they got along, marvelously. But I know it took us both to grow in that sense, because I believe when stuff like that happens, somebody hasn't completely moved on. Generally, that's the case. Or healed. Exactly. Yeah. Somebody hasn't completely moved on, and not so much that they really even want the person back, but maybe they're not in a happy space right now. And then, of course, they don't want you to be happy, because misery loves company. But it was a beautiful thing to have my daughter, my wife, all in the same house. We went over to where they were. They took pictures and they talked, and you know what I'm saying? Like it was fine, and I thought it was great, because to your point, Dr. Ramsey, when you can have everybody in that picture for the sake of the child,
yes,
it does so much for them. Period.
Yep.
Even if they're resistant at first, listen, we're all in this for you. So I think it goes a long way. Yeah. For the listeners who are hearing this, if you have in that situation, if you want at the end of the day, it should be what's best for the child.
That's
Put
right.
all that other stuff aside and do what's best for the child or the children.
That's right.
And that was my goal. My goal out of the marriage, and I think that even more so, my attention was more so on the children inside the home and outside the home. And so I made sure that my sons did not go to their dad's house the weekends that his kids came here. I made sure that they was all here at the same time.
Wow.
I made sure as much as in my power, when we did stuff outside the home, if one child came and they didn't have, we was on our way to a snow trip or whatever, I made sure I ran to Kmart back then and made sure that kid had like the rest of the kids. So for so long, and I just told my oldest daughter this, my second oldest daughter this the other day. I said, this is 2023. All of my children are grown. I now have grown children, my grandkids too. I am no longer the glue. I am no longer here to fix it. We're at a point in our time in our lives, it's all about us.
All right.
I've laid I've made the way. Right. You guys figure it out. So when y'all see me with furs and stuff, it's because we was wearing Wranglers, okay? So y'all okay. Y'all leave us alone, okay?
Right. Hey, you are the walking definition of fuck them kids.
I mean,
she don't really mean that though, because the minute they get in trouble, she'd be first one there. But no, you have to. No, we are at a different level at some point, because it was a struggle.
We
made it. But yeah, we don't. But we have,
because it's always a work in progress. Like you're never truly there. You know,
right? But we're at a point where you were at a point now. Yeah, y'all need to figure it out,
right?
we didn't lost sleep many days and went through stuff, you know,
right? Because I would never, like I said,
because of y'all mistakes.
Yeah, y'all one of my favorite couples, but talking to y'all in this manner, I would have never guessed. But you always on the outside looking at. I would have never guessed any of that stuff that you guys are telling me about happened, because your wife is a character and a half. So
on steroids.
She has me laughing, so I know she has you laughing, and and I would have never thought. But when you're on the outside looking in, because people look at my marriage and have their comments, I'm like, you just don't know. Like we've only been married a short while. We've been together a long time, but we've only been married a short while, and we've been through some stuff. Like we got a testimony, and one day our testimony we'll put ours on here as well. But we've been through some stuff.
Well, that's the one thing about social media. You can paint any kind of picture that you want to paint on social media, and we do have a lot of fun. We do have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm not editing that out, just so you know, whatever happens.
I said, don't touch the phone.
What does he or she do to still make you laugh? Like, what about him or her still makes you laugh?
For her, when she tries to hustle. She got two left. Yeah, she can't hustle. She don't know any of the hustles at all. And we've been working with her.
And she tries to get out there anyway?
I don't either. I don't know. I can't hustle. We can't dance. And the family makes fun of us. We can't dance.
You speak for yourself.
You can't hustle. You can't do the Sierra song that come on. We play the Sierra song. Was it Kier or Sierra?
I don't know. You too old. Don't even worry about it.
What's the whatever? Sierra. We are the laugh of the family when it comes to dancing.
No, we're not. I'm the leader of the family. They don't laugh. They be laughing at you. They'll be laughing at you.
And karaoke, we can't sing.
Oh my Lord Jesus!
We can't sing, so we do karaoke. It's a tradition for us to try to do karaoke. I try to lead off with a praise and worship song, and they laugh.
That's it. Okay, that's it. This is going somewhere. They're gonna see this.
You know, one of my favorite songs is "Down Through the Years."
Okay, don't start. This is not church. You're not about to start praying. Don't do that.
So yeah. So.
Oh my God. Listen. So Dr. Ramsey, talk to about like how important is it for that dynamic in a relationship? Like that laughing together. Like what does that do for the marriage, the relationship?
I mean, laughter is very important. I mean, to me, like I tell people, not only do I love my husband, I actually like the guy. So, some people are married and they love their husbands or their wives, but they don't really like them. Like they're like, when you have that kind of dynamic, it's like a matter of time. Or you're going to stay in a relationship where you're just completely unhappy, but you're not going to leave. So for me, it's healthy to like your spouse as well as love your spouse, and that you all can have fun together, get along together. And, when you fall out, it don't have to be such a long drawn out thing because, you like this person, so I think that's very important. Laughter is very important in life, period. Being able to laugh at yourself and being able to laugh at each other, laugh with each other is very important to have fun. And sometimes life gets in the way, especially if you're raising young kids. Everything you do is centered around that. And so you lose some things along the way, who you are as a person, a woman or a man. Even in the relationship, like it's very important to foster that, like I said, water that relationship, even when you're raising little kids, because when those kids get grown and they start to go their separate ways and you looking at each other like, who are you? And he like, who are you? I don't even like you, So
okay.
It's really important to kind of make sure you're pouring into the relationship also. So laughter is very important.
Yeah. It's because in a relationship, because I've heard of couples, they spent so much time raising the kids, taking them to school, doctor's appointments, sports, and this, that, and the third. And like you said, all of a sudden they look up when the kids are gone. Now they're looking at one another like, okay, what am I supposed to do with you?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I totally get that. Let me ask you guys this, because I had a situation a similar situation. How do you guys handle your in-laws?
Oh, we never had that problem. That's
No?
always
Okay.
been a blessing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
That's
And
one thing we can say.
And I'm not only talking about your mother-in-law, your father-in-law. I'm talking about, say, like your siblings and their spouses.
We just like family. We like.
Okay.
I mean, and you've probably seen. I mean, when we do things together, we're all together.
Okay.
And we never had. I mean, my sister-in-laws are just like my sisters, without a doubt.
Yeah.
My brother-in-laws are just like my brother, because I didn't have any blood brothers.
Oh, okay.
So my brother-in-laws are like my real brothers.
Okay.
So I mean, we do have a really strong family.
Yeah,
we've never had any division between in-laws. I mean, my mom is still around; she's still living.
Right.
God bless her. She's 87.
Oh, that is a blessing.
Geneva's mom was living. I mean, we that's one thing that. Well, I'll say this: my family has never had to bond like Geneva's family,
right.
And I wish we did.
Mm-hmm.
I only have one sister. I mean, there's no hate there, but we just never was close.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean,
well, I have to remind him all the time that this is.
If I leave,
no,
I'm
right. If you and I were divorced, my family, that's it. We done. And
and did her family say no?
No, that's not true. That's not true. So because
they say I can still come around.
That's stop lying. Stop lying. Stop with your butt. No, this is what happened once. So
you like Dominic. You ain't let that family go, huh?
Oh, yes, he was. Yes, he was. So we were up for divorce. I had filed for divorce and everything. And I put my family on notice. I said, if y'all see him, shoot him on spot. And I'm just letting y'all know, shoot him on spot. And that was it.
They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do no. We do. That's one thing we do. We've never had any in-laws or brother-in-law, big beefs. You know, we just have a whole bunch of fun together. We do. So.
And that's the thing with my husband's parents were deceased when we got married, but his family, like they take you in, like even, and you talked about when we divorced. No, even in his family, when they not married anymore. You're still cousin, you're still brother, that's it.
Right.
You're like you jumped in and you get jumped out. That's how it is in his family.
That's right. I'm in. Then they can do about it.
And he's jailed.
I'm in like Flynn.
The same thing. My parents
Flynn.
are still living, so he's jailed just as well with my family too. And we've never had that issue. Even with my daughter's mother, who, like I said, they've been really far removed in a relationship, but even with, like, she joined a church, and my husband is the pastor, so she joined our church. We never had that issue. We used to invite her to things. She didn't really come, but when we were all together, it was never a problem. And even my family, like my extended family, when we go around his family's like everybody's cousin. So when they had the big family barbecue, my family came and everybody just gelled together. So we've never had that issue either.
Right.
Oh, so you're a first lady, huh?
Yeah. Not when we got started.
She caught that. She caught that.
This interview is now over with. This interview has
no. Not when we got started. It wasn't like that when we got started. I had no idea.
Yeah. Well, and for us, I mean, even with the kids have multiple. The boys have multiple.
They have different fathers.
No, I'm talking about for the kids. I'm talking about the kids. Grandkids, our grandkids, they have multiple mothers in there.
So it's just like they have blended families.
They have blended families too.
Oh,
we don't exclude. We don't play. So we don't exclude.
Well, no.
We don't. We try not. We don't.
Wait, no. But that's not our place. So there was a big to do about that. So because it was okay for us, and that's a whole different session though. But I mean, if it's okay for us, it does not make it okay for our children.
Right.
So we have to respect our children if they're no longer with that person, and their wife does not feel comfortable with that person being there. We have to respect that. We have to respect that.
Yeah, we do respect what I'm saying. We don't treat them like, oh, not like
we don't treat them.
No. When they come over and drop the kids off, we just we don't play that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, because whatever they all went through is none of our business. So
Yeah. So tell me about how is it being a grandparent?
Love it.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
You love them more than you love your kids?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
They can stay at home. Just drop the kids off, keep on going, because I don't want to hear y'all problems. Yep.
Ain't it the best? You be like, listen.
See ya.
Just drop the baby off.
We don't.
You got to come in and ring the doorbell. Just
No.
drop them off or leave them on the porch. I'll come get them. Bye.
Just come get them Sunday. Just come get them Sunday by noon. Just check out. That's my rule.
Yeah.
Check out at noon on Sunday.
How do you?
And then they use me and they manipulate me on that. They end up being at 2:00.
You be at church. I'll be one watching them. What are you talking about?
No, grandparent is awesome though. Really, it is. It is.
It is a blessing to be a grandparent.
It is a blessing. It's a blessing.
You know what's so funny? When I'm with my friends that I went to high school with, that's when it become real to me. Because when I see my friends I went to school with, we are exactly where we were when we were in high school when we get to talking. But as soon as they say mention the grandkids, everything just blows up, and now we're in reality again. You know what I'm saying? Which is
right.
It's so funny because now we real again. You know, we older, we got kids, we got family. So yeah, it's so funny when I get with my friends I went to high school with how that all plays out. Because as soon as they say, or I say something about my grandkids, you're like, okay, it's reality now. We're not in high school no more. But yeah.
Right.
We always say, you know, when they speak, grandkids act up and say, "Oh no, this is your payback." When you got on our nerves, now it's your payback. now you getting what you gave us.
Exactly.
So leave them babies alone.
So y'all don't. So you guys don't discipline your grandkids?
Oh no, we don't play that. No,
I will butt. Yeah. I will butt.
You will bust.
That's the issue too with the kids. The kids don't believe in whooping now.
No, they do that gentle parenting. So we went to my nephew's basketball game today, and my daughter and my son.
They don't believe in belts.
My son whoop kids, but my daughter, she believes in this gentle parent. Like, okay, now let's be quiet now. I said,
time out.
Come here, little boy. Let me see you right here. We're watching this game.
We don't do timeouts over here.
Y'all don't do timeouts over here.
No, we spank legs.
We were butts.
That
is too funny. But you know what? And they still love y'all and want to come over, don't they?
Shoot. If they could move in here, we have a couple. Well, we have a couple that if they could move in here, they would. What do
your grandkids call you? Is it grandma? Because mine don't call me granddad.
Granny. Yeah. Granny called them her granny. They call me Papa.
Okay.
Granny and Papa.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
And so, we have one that's they like to say stop. So yeah, we're working on that.
It's boy or girl?
Boy. Yeah. You don't tell Papa or Granny stop. Okay. We're gonna work on that. Yep. Yeah, he like to swing. He like to swing too. We're gonna break that out.
No, the one time he swung on me, and I swung back on him. He fell on the floor. He was like, "Oh, I swing back, bro. I swing back."
He hit you?
Yeah.
He's spoiled, right?
Yeah.
What you do? Push him down, Geneva?
I swung. Yes, I did. I punched him on the floor. Yes, I did.
Oh, Lord.
She like you gonna respect my gangster as a grandma.
That's it, bro. You know, it's so funny. We always talk about. My daughter said, "Mom, you always talk about how hard you was in high school." I was like, "Y'all just don't know. I was a gangster. I'm just telling y'all."
Oh, that's too funny. So, do you guys still date? Still go out? No.
Yes, we do. We go to Coney Island.
That's not no dang on date.
Chili dogs.
That's not no day. I can take myself to Coney Island.
Okay, well.
No. The only time we go out is like when we go out the country, when I make the trips or whatever. He does not take me anywhere. So I told him, and we talked about this the last time, that you said that you was gonna start dating me. So you have not taken me on any date.
Okay. We'll start tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
No, after church.
So
no, not tomorrow. The football game's on tomorrow. No, I'm not doing anything.
Who's playing tomorrow? This is
the NFC and AFC for the Super Bowl.
Championship tomorrow.
This is not a part of this interview. It's not a part of this.
Okay. I do love sports.
Right. So, Dr. Ramsey, how important is it? Well, you mentioned that. I think you kind of alluded to that earlier in the conversation. Like you got to water your marriage date night. Like I know me and my wife are intentional about that. Like how important is that?
And some of us struggle. I mean, even like the place that you are in your life now, where you're not raising kids physically, it seems like an opportune time to implement that. And that's, like I said, given the humps you all have overcome, it's definitely important to pour into each other intimately. And I'm not talking about sex. I'm just saying intimately pour into each other and be intentional and purposeful about time together. For my husband and I, we even same thing with us. Our children are adults. Our granddaughter is 15 years old. So at that age, you know, they don't always want to be bothered with you anyway. But and so for us, we do like take trips together. But for what I've shared with couples before is make the little things the things. So when you say like Coney Island, it may not be a big thing to her, but like for us, because he owns a trucking company, so he would be gone. In the middle of the night, and by the time I'm done working, because I work from home, he's in the bed by the time I get done working. And so on the weekend is when we really have that time together. So whatever we're doing, we're making it date night. If we're going to Sam's Club, it better be pleasant. We better have some fun together, whatever we're doing. So we make the little things the things. And then when you have those opportunities to have those, you know, intentional plan dates, then definitely you need to do that, whether it's once a month. Some people can do it once a week. That's not how our life is set up.
Right.
We try to, like on Fridays is the daytime of Fridays is my self-care day, because I see clients 4 days a week for 10 hours a day. So the weekends I don't see clients. And so Friday is the daytime is my self-care day. But if we want to do something on Friday evening, if I get done early on Wednesday or Thursday, like a client cancels, we'll say, well, let's run out we like the Longhorns and Wixom. Let's run out there and have dinner. So we'll try to do stuff like that. So make the little things the things that matter, because those are what's important at the end of the day. You can have a lot of grand gestures. You know how people go on vacation and they have vacation attitude, like they're good on vacation and they come home because now life is back on your back. So that's why it's important to make the little things the things is really important. Like for you, Al, and your wife, the fact that you all are more intentional is great, but everybody's life is not set up like that. But we have to make every effort to pour into each other in our marriages.
Right.
Yeah, I think that I definitely feel like that's important, because I not putting my sister's business out there, but I have a conversation with my brother-in-law, like, he talks about, he looks at our marriage and say, now mind you, they've been married a lot longer than we have, looks at our marriage and says, hey, we want something, I want something like that. But then when you're working, the things that you do are counterproductive to the things that you want, how can you possibly have a successful marriage if you're doing everything that you do is counterproductive to what you want? You're shooting yourself in the foot. You know what I'm saying? You hobbling yourself, handicapping yourself before you can even get in the game. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's important. And he's a big sports fan, just like you, Dominic. And I'm like, listen, and I am too. But I actually have fun with my wife. I really do. We have fun together. Do she get on my nerves sometimes? Yeah, I get on her nerves sometimes. But we love going out and having fun together. She makes me laugh. I make her laugh. And it's intentional on both our parts when we definitely with the date night. So I'm going to encourage you, brother. Like I said, we could couple up if you want to. Listen, take your wife out. And not just on you, but she also has to make plans, concert tickets, whatever it is, not just running to the Coney Island, but literally deliberately setting up some days and times. Let me and you, no kids, we gonna go have dinner. We gonna take a walk through the park, anything, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have pictures with my wife. One day I set up in our living room. I had a picnic basket, which I never used. I laid it out, had some snacks, and we just sat in here and she thought it was the best. At the gym one time, and I'm just tossing out some ideas. I had candles and stuff all through the gym. Brought her up there and we put on some music. We had an event to go to right after that, but I wanted to do this for her. So I put on some music and we just danced a little bit, because that's the thing we love to do. Nice. We like to dance. And she was but my wife a big old softie. She just started crying. I'm like, listen here, what I'm trying to she in the background fussing right now. But yeah,
come on, Stacey. Really come on, help us.
But really yeah, nice. So I definitely, but that has never really been a struggle in my marriage, dating one another. It's always that's been pretty easy, because I like to do stuff like that. So I definitely encourage you, brother. You got my number. Call me. I toss some stuff your way, man. I got you.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Sure, absolutely. Yep. That's very, very important. I like road trips with my husband. I like for him to drive me. I tell people I'm a professional rider. So when he asks me to drive, then it's a problem. But I love to go on road trips with my husband. So because I just like to be in the car, our time together. And that kind of stuff is important to me. So when we get to go somewhere and we can drive and, so it is very important to be like, we did the picnic thing before on our bed. One, I think it was a Sweetest Day or something. We just had a picnic in our bed with some takeout food. And for some reason, after all the years he's been living, he's all of a sudden got allergic to fried shrimp. So that ended the date and the picnic.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Dominic, let me ask you this, because this was something that it hit me like a ton of bricks. So one day, me and the wife, you about to get into it. I'm struggling to unsnap her bra. I'm like, I used to be able to do that. Like, what the hell? Like, don't you, when you get married, that do you have that, like that little swag? Like, you're like, oh man, I ain't cool no more. Like, I felt like
out the window.
Man. And my sister-in-law, she said the same. She was like, no, I mean, my sister, she was like, bro, yeah, I was telling your brother, like, he done lost it too. Like, she was like that whole little, that mannerism that you carried, the thing that she like, ooh, like, man, I got to get it back. Like, I'm gonna tell her she gonna have to start wearing the bra more often. I had to practice, because I'm like, listen, I used to be able to do that without thinking. Like, snap that boy, and it's going down.
First of all, I need my glasses so I can see.
Hey,
right, where's that little latch? Oh, right. Wait a minute.
Listen, I don't know how you feel, Miss Geneva, but for me, swag to me is if I'm seeing you wash the dishes, sir. Hey, we in there. Forget trying to take a bra loose. Wash the dishes.
Listen. It'd be simple. So all I gotta do is come in with some roses. The bra will be off by the time we put the roses down.
Oh, okay.
I'm simple. Just some big roses.
You hear that? Your wife say, "Hey, just bring her some flowers, and you good. You ain't about taking nothing off."
Well,
I hear that.
If you walked in our house, it's like it's what do you call the?
Al been here. He knows.
Oh yeah, your wife got a green thumb.
We have a forest here.
You got a forest over there.
We have a forest. Yeah.
And to my listeners and guests who's coming on seeing this when I get ready to post it, Geneva is a very good, like, she can come and lay the front of your house out. So what you do is it called gardening?
Yeah.
She's very good at what she does. So Geneva, if you want to give a plug for what you do, here's your time. Here's your chance.
Call Al. Al call me. All right, that's actually my side hustle.
Yeah. Okay.
But during the day, I'm actually a administrator, Salesforce administrator. So that takes up a lot of my time, depending on the project that I'm working on. But that's actually a hobby that turned into a side hustle. It was just something.
So it's a passion, you absolutely love to do it.
Yeah, it's a passion of mine.
What do you do for a living, Dominic?
You don't have to do that.
I keep doing it. Assistant Vice President of Insurance Company. So I've been in the insurance industry like for 35 years now.
Okay. Oh,
wow.
Commercial underwriting. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Been doing it ever since college.
We got three new questions we're going to ask. All right. Would you rather serve 2 years of prison time or have a new baby with your ex?
Yeah, I'm going to jail.
Like, what in the world?
I'm going straight to jail.
Yeah.
What about you?
What you gonna say?
2 years.
You better have said 2 years.
Is this? It depends on what level. The level 1 or level 2?
Hell no.
Is it the county or is the state?
Is it a county or the state or the feds? Right. All right. Here's another question. Your partner admits that they miss nothing about their ex except the sex. Is this a deal breaker? A, yes, because that's disrespectful. No, because they're just being honest. C, it depends on if they are still friends with their ex or not. Or D, no, but they shouldn't have said that out loud.
Oh, I think what was C?
It depends on if they are still friends with their ex or not.
Right. I think that's what my answer would be.
No, they being you being honest. I want you to be honest with me because I know where to follow you at.
I love Geneva. And she be so straight faced when she say what she say.
Because I'm dead serious. Ask them.
All right, final question. On the third date, your boo presents you with a professional painting of the two of you making love, except you two have never made love. How does this make you feel? A, impressed with your creativity. B, creeped out. C, confused. Or D, turned on.
Creeped out.
Yeah, I'm creeped out.
Yeah, that's creepy. That's creepy.
That's creepy.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Okay. So this pretty much concludes our time. If you guys have any final thoughts, please share. Well, let me ask you this. What would you, if you were counseling a couple who had gone through some of the things that you went through, what would you tell them?
Oh, I would just say there is always, I mean, my battery's going out.
Okay. Well, we about to close out anyway.
Oh, yeah, but no, I would just say there's always a way to work things out. Just don't throw in the towel. It may be difficult, but I just think, me, spiritually, prayer works. And some people may not be spiritual, but I just think, I believe in the power of prayer. And I believe in, if you forgive those, you should be forgiven. So I think it goes both ways. But I just think that most couples give up too early instead of working it out. I think all things are possible through Christ. I just believe that.
Don't start preaching.
I'm not preaching about this. I'm just being real. Just being real. All things.
Yeah.
And if you believe all things, that means it's not over.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it takes work.
It takes work. Absolutely. It definitely
takes work. Both have to be willing to do it.
What about you, Geneva? What are your final thoughts?
I would say that go with your first mind. And if your first mind says that you have peace, leave, then leave. That's what I say. Don't allow someone else to say, we'll give it another chance. Because if you had it in your mind to leave, go ahead and leave. Because if you stay because someone else told you to stay, then you're going to suffer. So, and it may get better, but you're going to suffer until then. So I say always go with your first mind.
Okay. Dr. Ramsey, you want to go ahead and put a cherry on top of this this conversation? Kind of give us your final thoughts before we close out.
Well, I mean, this has been a very interesting session. I appreciate you all letting me be a part in your lives, and you, Al, for inviting me on. And, I think our theme for this seemed to be, the infidelity piece was what stood out. But I agree with Dominic that you can overcome things if both parties are willing to do the work. And sometimes that may require working outward to inward, meaning like what Geneva said about, you may have to take a step back. But at the end of the day, marriage is a blessing. And if everybody puts the work in, the marriage you will have return on your investment and you will be blessed. And it still takes work, but I think that all things come together for those who want to do the work.
That's right.
So I think I counsel people weekly in every facet of what you can think about in a relationship that may go to, and it's actually a passion of mine. I agree. I think people do throw in the towel way too fast in a lot of situations. Part of that is because they've been hurt so much, and it's like, so a number of things can play a role into that. But if you make a decision to connect yourself with someone, I think you need to understand who you are before you make that connection, first of all. And then you need to grow together and have grace for one another within that relationship. Oftentimes we want grace, but we don't extend grace. And that's part of the problem with relationships in general, whether it's marriages or friendships or whatever the case may be, or even family. So you have to give grace because we're not perfect people. We're imperfect people trying to have a perfect situation. That's what we are. And so we have to give grace and understand that everything can come together as long as we do the work.
Well, Dr. Ramsey, because you are in the ministry, would you go ahead and pray us out real quick?
Okay.
All right.
Well, we just want to thank God for this platform here, thanking him for presenting us with a space to help people, help them overcome tough situations, as well as, be in a mentoring capacity to people who may be struggling in their marriage or who are wanting to get married and not sure because of these things that we brought to the platform today. So we just thank God for the transparency of this couple. And we pray that God continues to bless their marriage and their union and their family, as well as our host. We pray for his blessings and his family. And we just thank God, and we hope that he can bless this to go forward to help as many people as he deems necessary for it to be fitting for it to help. And we thank him in Jesus' name for all things. Amen.
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 Amen. Well, thank you guys. This concludes our today's podcast of It's Funny Now, Black Marriage Chronicles. Again, I appreciate everybody for coming on. Give yourselves a round of applause. I appreciate it for the transparency.
Thank you.
And
Thank you
the honesty. And I want you guys back on again. So we may have some other topics that we would like to discuss, but definitely this was definitely enlightening. I'm glad I had you guys on here first. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Just call my agent. He'll let you know if I'm available.
Bye, fool.
All right.
See y'all. Okay.
See you. Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more content on things such as this. We appreciate you staying on and watching the entire video. But hit the like and subscribe button. If you have any questions or comment, leave those below. If there's any particular subjects that you would like us to discuss with married couples who've been in it for a long time, please leave that information below as well. This is Antonio signing off. Have a good one. Be blessed. Hey everyone, thank you again for staying to the very end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the Connors interview as much as I did. They definitely, with 30 years of marriage, they definitely dropped some nuggets. So hopefully you found some value in it. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for me. Also leave any comments below. We would greatly appreciate it for future content of the show. For our next episode of It's Funny Now, Black Marriage Chronicles, we will have the Rivers. We're looking at 26 years of marriage, so I'm definitely looking forward to interviewing June and Sonia Rivers. I know them personally. They too are one of my favorite couples. So again, thank you again for subscribing to the channel, and look forward to seeing you in the next video.